Welcome back to another episode of Daily Anime Reviews, the channel where we talk about seasonal anime on the daily. And today, we are talking about Oshi no Ko Season 3, Episode 5. You already know it's another week of Oshi no Ko, so it's nothing but peak. And boy, once again, these are usually our longest videos, and it's probably going to be a long one too. This episode was interesting. This episode had a lot of, or practically everything that I like about Oshi no Ko. Not to the extent where I would call this wow, it's a fucking great episode. Which, it's still a great episode. Just not to the, emotional, the emotional levels that I usually get when I talk about Oshi no Ko episode. Not like last episode, that had me, freaking out and shit like that. But this did make me feel things, and I definitely still got a little tear jerky as well. And you know what? I do appreciate what they're doing a little bit, since at least a little bit of the episode was actually spent on Aqua and Akane, where Akane is now taking it upon herself to actually make sure that, oh my god, I think it was Himikari or Hikari, I forget his name. I forget the dude. I need to pay attention to the dude's name, but making sure that the kid who was with I all those years ago and Aqua never fully meet, because she's aware that he's alive somewhere, right? And we even have the conversation with Aqua being lost, being like, hey, I've really enjoyed being with you, but also I want to be my own person. I want to be free, but I don't feel like I can. Should I just not care and move on, or should I see this through? And I think Akane actually gave a pretty good response, where she was like, listen, I can't choose for you, because any other relationship where we can't be our own people would be very toxic. But that doesn't mean that I won't support you in any decisions. I love you, and whatever you want to do, I'm full throttle with you. And so I think that gave Aqua at least a little bit of support, given the fact that no matter what he'll choose, he'll have somebody in his corner to help him, which is good. I think he'll need that support in the future. I kind of feel like I know what route he's going to go down, given just how this is going and how it goes. I would be a little bit surprised if Aqua actually decided to not continue with things and actually decided to try to live for himself. I could see him attempting that, but failing so bad and relapsing fully back into wanting the whole revenge plot. But surprisingly, this episode was actually about Kana, and we actually haven't spent too much time on her, since she's been in the background of things for a lot of these episodes, which I think is an important aspect, because at least for most of the episodes, or most of the stuff going on, Kana has been pushed to his side. She's been pushed aside, sort of kind of by Aqua, with her and with him now dating Akane. There's Ruby's just now be Komichi, and you could tell, because when Kana meets a friend and then meets a director who's also meeting with the friend, the group, she brings up the group called Bikomichi, and he doesn't say, oh yeah, that idol group you're part of, oh yeah, those girls. He says, Ruby Hoshino's group. That's fucked. That's so fucked. I sat there and I'm like, oh, you hate to hear that, dog. It's like, oh, Bikomichi, you mean the group that Ruby Hoshino group? No, that Ruby Hoshino group. That I was like, really? It was like, holy shit. Yeah, no, Ruby has definitely dwarfed Bikomichi, and so I have the feeling that this group is going to separate somewhat and actually split apart. Also, very interesting thing as well. It sounds like that they might bring in a fourth member, which I did call earlier, given the fact of how the opening for this season has gone, as when every time they're doing the dance, obviously it is all the main girls. But it made me feel like that Akane might actually join, which threw me off a little bit. But then it may be the new manager that was formerly the AD of that TV company might be her sister, which I think is a very interesting aspect. I would be interested. I didn't think she was going to come back, but apparently she is. Again, I appreciate how Oshi no Ko is able to recycle some of these characters. It's really useful, and I very much like it indeed. But yeah, like I said, this whole episode kind of has to revolve with Akane. As like I said, she's been pushed away from Aqua, and I dating Akane. And now that Ruby is kind of, Bikomichi's kind of now Ruby's group. And even, she's not like Memo, where Memo, she only got kind of popular only recently, and so she's like happy with her little corner. Although I assume she wants more. But Kana was somebody who was like destined to be the top. Like, say what you want about everyone else, but Kana has talent. Even Akane sat there and was just like, "Hey, I know you have talent." Because the girl I met was not the girl that had talent. The girl I met was the girl who was confident and was willing to do anything to get that talent. You've been beaten up. You've been, like, sidelined. And so I need that talent. The thing is that it's hard for Kana, where there are people... the only reason it applies, and it's completely different anime, is that a Blue Lock, I think, has the best method. This is going to sound fucking insane, but... in Blue Lock, there is, like, learners and there's talented. People like Aqua, like Ruby, like Akane, those people are talent. People like Memo and people like Kana, those are hard workers. Kana has, like, crafted her acting talent for, like, years upon years upon years. Same thing with Akane, but like, it's not in the same way. Akane had to build herself from the ground up, while Akane had that talent early. We explored all of this in season 2. So, but it's obvious that, like, the talent is carrying somebody like Akane, like all of them, farther. But it's also because they have a lot of connections. And you see that from, like, the way Ruby's been moving in this season. Aqua made his whole connections. Akane was someone who's very close to the director from the La La Lee Productions. Kana, while she is popular and she does have talent, people recognize her talent, she doesn't have the same level of connections as all three of them do. She really does not have that. So she struggles a lot. And so this director that she ends up meeting actually, like, explains that to her, being like, no, I want people that have talent. Like, in this Japanese showbiz, it's all about ageism and nepotism and who can look the best and who can be the most compliant. It's not about people who can actually have talent. Which, this episode, again, it's Oshinoko, so we're always here for a little bit of industry deep dives. We appreciate that from this show. I was surprised to think that, like, the Writers Guild in Hollywood that we have over here is kind of, well, people can complain about it, and we had a lot of things, and people can complain how, like, they don't try as hard as they should for some of the actors, and there's other things that have to do with it, compared to what they have in Japan, in the way that they explained it here. Man, really made me appreciate the Writers Guild at the very least, because even before this, when Akane was deciding to even meet with this director, Strawberry Productions' manager was Miyako was going over the fact of like, oh yeah, your social media is ours, but like, we're actually easygoing, because most people would put you in NDAs. Some people would put, like, control your whole life, not have you date boyfriends, but you, like, and it's true. This is a very proven track record across many things. I mean, Jesus Christ, just with the whole VTuber thing, with the whole NDAs and stuff like that, bro. Look at V Shoujo. Look what the fuck happened. Look at Niji Sanji, bro. Holy shit! Like, holy shit. Is Niji Sanji the one I'm thinking of? I think Niji Sanji is the other one that was, like, really not okay. But, like, look at, like, that whole fucking space, dude. This shit is... It's not wrong. Japan's entertainment industry will hold you the fuck down, and it is not great. And you know what? The director does seem like somebody who has a lot of passion in him in order to change that. I will admit, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how I feel about it, because he like tries to go and talk with her, right? And he's like, oh, you come to my office. People are still, like, probably working. And I knew exactly what it was gonna go to. Now, I have problems with this, because, like, he doesn't force himself on her. He doesn't, like, what I do think what he does is very not okay. But like obviously he didn't do anything, but also that's really bad. Where he's just like, I want to know your soul, your philosophy, and he's like, well, if I'm gonna work with you, I need to be personal. I'm like, listen, I'm gonna tell you can't. And it's also shitty the way he words it too. It's really fucking shitty. Where he's like, listen, I'm not gonna force you to do anything. You can walk out of that. You can walk out of that door, no problem, no sweat. I got no ill will, but this is an opportunity for you. And it's just like, oh, well, now you're, like, technically, yes, you won't do anything, but also at the fucking same time, like, yeah, if someone it's like, hey, bro, that's like telling me being like, that's like me going on being like, someone, not me, but like, someone coming up to you and being like, hey, no pressure, I'm not going to force you to do it, you could say no hard feelings, and you can walk out that door, we're all still being square, we're fine. But here's $1 million, now let me eat your ass. Like, what the... what are we doing? Like, we can't do that. Like, that's not good. It's not proper etiquette. It's not good. It's not great. It's like, what the fuck? And he does stop, and because Akane starts crying, which I thought she was gonna cry over the fact of like, what am I doing? I'm stooping so low, which it is it is part of that, but also part of it is Aqua and how like she doesn't feel right like doing things with her when she's like doing things with other people when she still has this like big infatuation for Aqua, but also at the same time she doesn't want to stoop herself to doing that just so she could get back into the acting career. Which the man again, her like laying down and him being on top and her being like, oh, can I really get back to that spotlight and spot? I'm like, oh, Kana, that sounds so bad. No, Kana, don't do this, Kana. Luckily, it doesn't happen. And the dude actually hears her out and is actually fascinated in other ways by her passion and stuff like that for Aqua and all that stuff, which is fair. Man, I just remember sitting there and having a heart attack, and I'm just like, oh, it's gonna happen. No, I don't want to watch this. Oh my god, bro, I closed my eyes. I was like, Kana, no, please. Which she doesn't, and she walks out of there with her pride still unscathed. But then also, this show's gotta do some fucky shit. 9 out of 10 times, it's gotta do some old bullshit. Because you know what it does? Kana gets fucking caught. Because previously in this episode, we were already talking about how idols, they slip up in their third year, and they slip up coming out of some type of boy's house, and the blowback could be big, and yada yada yada. And then, of course, she gets fucking snapshotted walking out of a person's house. We don't know whose house it is. We don't know whose house it could be. We don't know this. We don't know that. But someone took a picture of Kana that's walking out in the morning on somebody's house, which is not good. And so it's next episode, either next episode or somewhere down the line in this season, that shit is going to blow the fuck up in her face, and it's going to ruin Bikomichi, and it's going to ruin her only thing. But it might be good for her. It might be good for her to be free, because she'll be like, you know what? I'm glad Bikomichi's gone, because now I can actually focus on that. And Ruby is also becoming bigger, and like, while she also is done, here's the thing, that's going to put everything in an interesting perspective. Ruby doesn't really need Bikomichi. Kana gets money and it's helpful for her, but she also has the talent that she doesn't need Bikomichi. Or rather, Bikomichi's holding her back because she doesn't want to be in the spotlight style. It's the only one who really needs Bikomichi. And this was what I was talking about in the beginning of, like, I think we're going to get a lot more focus on Memo and her just, like, it's seeing what happens when, you know, again, Memo is the outlier. She's going to be the one, because Ruby is super, super talented. Kana, hard worker. She knows what path she wants. But, like, I think it'll put the perspective of, like, an internet celebrity into full question, and it'll make me wonder whether like if she'll drive super hard to actually do what she wants to do, or if like she's gonna just fall and give up and we're just not gonna see Memo again. It will be very, very interesting. I would be very, very cool, because the sad part of it is every music group always has one, huh? Always one fallout, always one person who, you know, their group was their life, and once the group was done, it goes away with the wind, and I feel like that might be Memo. I feel like this season's setting up for either something bad happening with Memo. I can't put my finger on it. I can't prove it. Cue the fucking bald black man meme. I can't. Something's happening. I just can't prove it yet. But the signs are there. The signs are there, and it does worry me, man. Leave it to Oshi no Ko to leave me woefully entertained and horrifically speculative. That's the relationship we have right now when it comes to season 3. But of course, let me know if you like this episode, if you hate this episode, and how you think the season's going so far. Go ahead and leave your comment below, and if you like this video that you see right here, how about you give it a like to give your boy some love. And if you want to keep track of all the videos that we upload on this channel, go ahead and subscribe so you can know when we go ahead and track better when we upload every single day. And if you want to keep even more better track of when we upload every single day, how about you go ahead and hit that notification bell so you can keep a way better track of when we upload every single day. My name's been Mise Kurosaki. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.